4 Live radar showing the potential for severe weather diminishing, but it doesn't mean the overnight rain won't cause problems.
It took fewer than 140 characters for Detroit's Kid Rock to send shockwaves all over social media. So is he really running for Senate, or is it just a publicity stunt?
Also tonight, a surprising sports injury that is sending children to the ER. Dr. Frank McGeorge shows us how to protect our young athletes.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Earlier today, all the signs were pointing toward a lot of severe weather that included potential for tornadoes, high winds, and flooding.
Now the timing of the rain is shifted, and the biggest remaining threat is flooding. Ben Bailey is here with what's changed since we saw you at 6, Ben.
Yeah, Kim and Devin, the later these storms have pushed off and the later that they arrive, the lower the severe threat gets, but the closer to the morning commute we get, and then we start worrying about the potential for flooding. But so far out there, there is not a single severe thunderstorm warning along this line of storms. Just within the last 10 minutes or so, there's one cell that's popped up here just south of the state line. And if this does continue to build, it's likely going to move just a little bit more south rather than east as it moves across northern parts of Ohio. Nevertheless, still possible we could see thunderstorms. The models have not had a good handle on this, but they're continuing to bring activity in here closer to 5 or 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can see there's going to be plenty of rain with this, even though the air is going to be much more stable than what we were looking at for that severe threat tonight. The thunderstorms will continue, at least scattered around during the day on Thursday. Flood watches remain in effect through tomorrow morning. So here's the bottom line. The severe threat, much less likely. We can't say it's completely zero. There's a lot of, definitely a lot of moisture out there. Isolated areas in the morning could see issues with flooding if these thunderstorms do arrive at the time those models are showing, and that's a big if. Storms still possible as we get into Thursday. We'll talk more about the impact of that on tomorrow morning's commute and see what the rest of the 7-day forecast looks like coming up in a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben, and before you head out in the morning, be sure to wake up with Local 4 News today for updates on the rain and any issues it might cause with your morning commute.
The news tonight.
A neighborhood on Detroit's west side is soaked, but not because of today's rain.
A water main break is going to have crews working through the night to cap this leak, and neighbors are finally getting some answers now after calling Local 4.
Jermont Terry is live with what went wrong. Jermont?
Yeah, Kimberly, the work is underway to fix this problem, but over my shoulder, neighbors could not originally get a clear answer from the city as to when any of this work would start, and that left them frustrated. The water outside Paul Johnson's house has nothing to do with the rain.
My concern is that it's growing.
What's growing is deep, dark, and downright dangerous.
It's a sunken hole right now that's building.
It started with a broken water main on the sidewalk. The city came out.
They just came and showed up and they blocked it off and they left, you know, and said, hey, we'll be back in the morning.
But Paul and others in the neighborhood knew this wasn't good enough.
Thank you for calling the Detroit Water and Sewerage Department.
They just hung up on me.
So he took matters into his own hands.
And I moved the barriers or whatever, but I didn't have no idea it was that deep. You know, I could have fell in there myself.
When we arrived, it was clear this was a problem. We took a 5-foot stick to test the depth.
If I let this go, this will sink down in there. Now, this is how deep it is. I mean, it may be deeper than this. 5 cones are not enough.
No, I couldn't believe that the city would leave such a danger behind, so I called the water department to see if they were aware that this problem had gotten worse and so deep. All signs point to this being an emergency.
Yeah, right now. Not 2 guys with a truck and just throw some cones over it and try to turn the water off.
Within hours, water crews did arrive to fix the broken water main. Did anyone else call you guys?
No, we did not have another call that said the hole had gotten worse.
And tonight, the spokesperson for the city and the water department insisting that neighbors should have informed them that this case got worse when they originally investigated this afternoon. Tonight, these orange cones are out, but their neighbors are most definitely happy to see the crews working, and that could take well into the night. For now, reporting live on the city's southwest side, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
Okay, Jermont, an important hearing scheduled in downtown Detroit tomorrow regarding the deportations of 1,400 Iraqi nationals in the U.S., more than 100 of which are in the Metro Detroit area. Last night, Judge Mark Goldsmith ruled the federal courts have jurisdiction over the cases. Tomorrow, lawyers for the government and those facing deportation will be in federal court to discuss a preliminary injunction that would keep the government from deporting those rounded up last month. Kid Rock set social media on fire tonight after hinting he's going to run for U.S. Senate here in Michigan against Debbie Stabenow in 2018.
Let's take a closer look at the tweet. We have to ask, is he really running? Mara McDonald, or really considering it? Mara McDonald live tonight. What do you think, Mara?
Well, Devin, let me tell you what we've been able to put together so far. Number one, he hasn't filed anything with the Federal Election Commission for any sort of Kid Rock campaign. We haven't found anybody in the upper echelons of the GOP who think this is real, and we haven't been able to find any paid finance or campaign staff at all. Senator Rock, or Senator Bob Ritchie, which is Rock's given name, when he tweeted tonight about the possibility, it links to a website with Rock gear, but nothing else. And then he followed it up with this one, telling everybody to stay tuned. We hit up the Metallica concert at Comerica Park tonight and other hot spots downtown for your Rock reaction. Would you vote for him?
I can't say it's likely, but I'd be willing enough to hear his platform and who he was running against.
I don't know. It's getting all crazy anyway, so it depends on how much Kid Rock tweets.
A lot of people are going to look at the fact that he supports that rebel flag, and him and Ted Nugent kind of go hand in hand, and with all the stuff with Ted and Trump, I'm not sure how that's going to weigh out in his favor or not, but he's got my vote.
I honestly believe he's really passionate about what he's doing and what he wants to do, and he's got my vote because I believe in his passion.
Kid Rock, we love you doing what you do. Please, stay in your lane. This is not what you need to do.
Back here live. Meanwhile, based on Rock's tweet, take a look. Senator Stabenow sent out a fundraising appeal tonight, and in it she says she doesn't know if this is a stunt or not, but hey, never hurts to send a check. At least that's what her fundraising appeal says. Devin, Kimberly, back to you.
Well, you got some a great array of comments there tonight. But so you've been talking. You mentioned the bigwigs in the GOP. Have you found anybody in Michigan politics, though, that thinks this might be for real? Because there was a time months ago when some seemed to be urging that he should get into politics.
And there have been people who have urged him to get into politics. But I will tell you this: anybody who runs campaigns in this state tonight will tell you no. And I'll leave you with this, Devin. Bawa to daba, da bang, da dang, diggy diggy. And let's leave it at that, because those are his lyrics, and tonight they just might mean that anything's possible in Michigan politics.
He said stay tuned. We will. All right, Mara.
All right. The search is on for a rapist after a woman was attacked on Detroit's east side. She says the man forced her into an alley behind a gas station at 7 Mile and Van Dyke. It happened early this morning. Police are working on a sketch of the suspect that will soon be released to the public.
Fenton man facing 5 counts of second-degree murder for a deadly crash cried as he appeared in court today. Prosecutors say Matthew Carrier was drunk, was driving 100 miles an hour, had a suspended license, and blew through a stop sign in Osceola Township back in May. He slammed into another car, killing 5 people, seriously hurting 2 others. Police say Carrier admits friends told him not to drive, but he did anyway.
A yes vote on Friday won't mean an immediate release for Rick Wershe. If the Michigan Parole Board votes in favor of setting him free, it'll be 30 to 90 days before he's released. The Michigan Department of Corrections will follow the same procedures they would with any other prisoner. They'll use the time to make sure Wershe has a safe place to live and plans for a job. Tomorrow night at 11, Rick Wershe will speak exclusively to defender Kevin Dietz about his thoughts just hours before his big day.
An incredible rescue in the rain and mud. The Michigan Humane Society saves 11 puppies who were trapped underground. It was muddy, nasty work, but they did a live stream of the rescue on Facebook, but pulled each puppy out of this deep hole behind a Detroit home. They were left there by their mother. The concern was that they would drown in all of today's rain. But all of the Shepherd mixes were brought to the Humane Society to get cleaned up. That was a tall order at the time, but fed as well. Their mother was also found, and she's getting treatment as well. Pretty sweet.
Yeah,
hard work. The rain also stayed away long enough for Metallica tonight.
What's that called? Crowd surfing?
I think, and that's Ben Bailey, I believe.
The band performed at Comerica Park despite worries that storms would force the show to be canceled. It stayed dry throughout the entire set, and they were even able to enjoy some fireworks there during the show. So good for them. And we saw it was a good crowd from Mara's story.
Yeah, that was a lot of good folks.
So, yeah, good.
Big show downtown. A major wireless carrier responding to a massive data breach tonight. What millions of Verizon customers need to know about their information.
C is for cookie, except in this case, the surprise found in a Cookie Monster doll that landed a man in jail.
I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. One mom worried about her son getting hurt playing sports, but never how it happened.
I'm nervous, always, even before the injury.
The serious injury that sidelined her son is something that can happen in many summer sports. The one thing you can do to keep your kids safe in the game, next.
Her son up at bat one moment, the next, she and her husband are rushing him to the hospital.
We were on the inside, very panicked.
Parents worry about concussions, broken bones, and sprains when their kids are playing sports, but there is another injury that's sending children to the emergency room this summer.
Yeah. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge shows us what it is and the one thing you can do to protect your kids, Doc.
Well, Devin and Kimberly, we're talking about eye injuries, and they can happen in many different sports, including swimming, soccer, and baseball.
Look straight ahead.
Terry Dean is at one of his many follow-up appointments to make sure his left eye is okay.
Very rarely, if the eye is injured bad enough, you can have long-term damage that causes the pressure to be high. But we're still too early to even worry about that.
The 14-year-old plays catcher and first base for the Michigan Bandits. He was hurt during his first tournament this spring.
I was up to bat, and then I had 2 strikes, and I swung, and then the ball ricocheted off the bat and hit me straight in the eye.
Coaches then said he needs to go to the hospital. So I looked at his eye, and it was where it would be blue normally, it was black.
It didn't hurt at first, and then like when I got into the car to go to the hospital, it started to hurt.
The family lives in Davidson and rushed their son to Hurley Medical Center in Flint.
We were on the inside very panicked, and Terry was on the ride to Hurley. He thought for sure he was going to lose his eyesight because he couldn't see.
Terry was taken by ambulance to the University of Michigan Hospital to be treated by experts in pediatric ophthalmology. His injury was serious.
His eye was inflamed and painful to him. He also had bleeding inside of the eye, which bleeding goes away over time, just like if we have a scab or we bleed on our skin, it goes away, but bleeding in the eye can cause long-term damage, and so we have to watch that very carefully.
OFL.
It can cause glaucoma, it can cause cataracts, and those can cause blindness later on in life. He also had some retinal bruising, which sounds complicated, but it was basically a bruise of the film of his eye.
He was treated with drops to keep his eyes dilated, 7 trips to University of Michigan Kellogg Eye Center for checkups, and no baseball for several weeks.
It could have been much worse. He could have lost his vision permanently.
It feels good. It doesn't hurt anymore.
Big letter on the screen is going to keep changing. Why don't you tell me what you see there? Eye injuries are a very common overlooked part of trauma in sports, and especially in the summer, there's sports that we play that you would think are safe. Baseball, you wear a helmet, you'd think that you're pretty safe playing baseball, but very common to have eye injuries in baseball. We see soccer players get eye injuries often. We see kids sometimes that are injured swimming, that they get kicked in the eye by someone else who's swimming.
So I would have never guessed this type of injury, but an eye is just as, vulnerable as any spot on your body.
Terry is playing baseball again, but with a new accessory.
He does have eyewear now, but we got it after the injury. He has both sunglass eyewear and then clear, and it's like a safety glass.
Taking extra precautions so Terry can enjoy his favorite pastime for years to come.
There's tremendous relief because you go from thinking he's going to be blind to the outcome being so amazing that we're very blessed.
Now, Dr. Gappy recommends protective eyewear for almost anything you're doing, from sports to cutting the lawn. And if you're not sure you or your child needs to wear eyewear for an activity, you should talk to your eye doctor.
Yeah, never can be too careful, so.
Exactly.
Better to wear.
You've only got 2. Replace them.
Here's what Kevin Deese is working on for tomorrow night.
The decision just hours away. Will the Michigan Parole Board release Richard Wershey?
I would say I'm cautiously optimistic.
Locked up for 29 years, longer than any nonviolent juvenile offender ever.
Enough is enough. He spent enough time for what he did.
The defenders take you inside the Parole Board's long-awaited decision on White Boy Rick.
I don't want to be in prison any longer. I've been in here more than enough time.
Tomorrow night at 11.
All right, Kevin, we expect we'll have a decision coming on Friday morning.
That's right. Okay, so Ben, are we out of the clear, or are we kind of still a little bit?
Well, we're starting to see less of a threat from severe weather.
Well, that's good.
But because those storms have been delayed, we're looking at more of the potential of seeing flooding for the morning commute.
That's the big thing.
We thought that we were going to see most of those storms get out of here before everybody hits the road, and that doesn't look like it's going to be the case. So let's start out with 4 Live radar. First, I want to show you those lightning bolts that you see down there in northern parts of Ohio. Look like 2 of them popped up with that cell and haven't seen much more, although we're trying to, it looks like trying to fire up some convection down there. Most of that should stay down towards the state line. The storm motion on this is a little bit more south than east, but most of the state has what we call a cap, which means the temperatures are a little bit warmer above the surface than they are down at the ground, and that prevents these storms from rising and getting strength and getting going. The most likely area of thunderstorms that we're going to see overnight is this area that's coming out of the northern end of Lake Michigan as it sort of rolls down the state. And as it does, it's going to get into an area where there's a lot more moisture to work with. So this will be probably a prolific rain producer. But as far as the amount of severe weather with it, we don't have any warnings out there right now. And it looks like it'll become increasingly less likely with time overnight. Storm pin showing is this from Harrison Township. Beautiful colors on the clouds. Thank goodness they weren't all that threatening, especially as we got into the evening hours tonight. 79 is the current temperature. And again, the temperatures don't look all that bad. It's just when you start looking at these dew point numbers, I mean, this is stuff we usually see down on the Gulf Coast. 74 the dew point right now at Metro Airport, 74 in Monroe. In fact, most of the area with 70-degree dew points, and that's going to last at least through the day tomorrow. We'll finally get a break as we get into Friday. So the forecast map, and again, these models just really have kind of been out to lunch for the last couple days. Haven't been able to handle this situation all that well. Tries to bubble up some thunderstorms down near a south zone here by 2 a.m. But this is that area that we were showing you on 4 Live radar that's going to work its way down to the south and east. So as it does, it's going to run into more moisture, and that could increase the amount of rain here as we get towards 6 a.m. But again, the chances of severe weather are lower. Not completely zero, but a lot lower than what we were looking at just a few hours ago. Once we get through the day on Thursday, still could see some scattered thunderstorms around with a very similar setup. High moisture content, a lot of instability to work with, and temperatures that are still going to be at or even warmer than what we saw yesterday. 74 is what we're looking at for a low temperature tonight. Quick check of high temperatures in our 4-zone forecast. Metro zone is going to be in the mid to upper 80s. These numbers, even though they'll be in the 80s on the thermometer, are going to be basically feeling like 92, 93, maybe even hotter with the amount of moisture that we have out there tomorrow. A couple 70s possible up there in our north zone. Some relief again Friday as we drop the humidity. Most of the weekend looks good, and a chance of storms on Sunday.
All held off for the band tonight in St. Clair Shores. Had a great time, so thanks to everybody that came. And a public apology to Metallica. If we drew anything away from your crowd, apologize. I didn't do the schedule. You know how it is.
That's great. All right, breaking bad eating habits can be difficult, but the changes don't need to happen overnight. How experts say you should approach those changes.
Also, he's shady and up to no good. Why police say you need to call them if this guy knocks on your door.
At Tim